Welcome to Brains Like Ours. This is Kate, and Kate is here to tell her story. So Kate, what kind of mental health have you suffered with?
So my mental health is basically addiction. When what comes with addiction is like your psychosis. Obviously I am processed to being of ADHD, but I don't know if I've got that personally. But I'd say mental health, addiction falls hand in hand really, doesn't it?
What is your earliest memory of mental health? Or your first thought that you're not okay?
Oh God, that's a question. I don't know. I don't think I've probably ever felt that I'm okay in a sense, because I always felt there's something missing in a way. Like other people go about their day-to-day lives and I go about mine. You know, I did things quite a lot younger than most people would do and was put in situations more. So I think it just kind of stemmed from whole life things really, just feeling a little bit of an outcast but not showing it at the same time. Obviously I did have postnatal depression with my children as well, but like I said, I've said previous, I have a few memory blanks, which you'll explain more after, so I find things like that quite hard. If you mean like when I first started to use...
Kind of, start with that.
So, I've obviously from being young, alcohol's always been quite prominent in my mum's life and my dad's. So she used to make her own wine, a big massive white barrel in the corner. So obviously I always knew drinking was just something you did, you know what I mean? My mum used to make it and she used to drink it. It was awful, it burnt the insides of you. But she drank, so it just kind of flowed that it was normal to drink. And then obviously when you're young and you're a teenager, you go out drinking and then you start doing drugs and you get a bit drug happy and stuff like that. But it was nothing that I would really have thought, oh my God, when I'm in the future, this is going to have a knock-on effect in my life.
It was just kind of for fun when you were younger.
Yeah, kind of was for fun when I was younger. And then obviously I had my eldest daughter when I was quite young, and my mum and stepdad then moved to Blackpool, which I held a lot of resentment for a long time.
I can imagine,
which wasn't their fault really. Looking at it now, they did the best they could. I chose to have a baby, my responsibility. So I think from that all played out as well. You know, Molly's he has his own issues. Unfortunately, he's an addiction. Well, he's not. He's out of it now. But so. You know, it was a bit messy for a long time. And I'd always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with my mum. I think it's because we were so alike. So when I knew that her drinking had started to get a little bit more out of control, like she stopped drinking the wine but started to switch to the vodka, and then the Lucozade with it just to kind of get her through. Drinking in work, which should never have really been allowed to be done, because she actually worked in a school kitchen. It was absolutely mental. It was even okay. You know, like looking back a bit, and then obviously that had a knock-on effect with my dad and everything. So she did, and we got phone calls then to say that she weren't doing too good, but she weren't willing to listen to reason. She started to get bruises, and because she was falling and she couldn't heal, so you know. At that time, that's when I would say I picked up tablets as well, the sleeping tablets.
And what were they called?
Diazepams I had. I had over-the-counter ones like the Sleep Aid, Night All, and I also had an on and off problem with taking painkillers, which was like Capac and stuff like that. But so did my mum.
Yeah.
Weirdly, she liked to take them because she knew the feeling change of it, and that's what you do when you take something. You want a feeling change, and that's what happened. So I kind of followed her footsteps with that.
So do you think it's kind of come from her, like the addiction's come down?
Yeah, it's definitely a family illness that you get, and obviously it's just learnt behaviour. That's what I knew. So obviously I'm going to just do what my mum did.
Yeah, of course, it's what you see.
It's what you see. But then obviously everything started to snowball quite quickly, but I could keep it hidden for a long time. So I think after, like, my mum died from alcoholism. Well, she was clean for 17 days, but she'd already damaged the liver and the lungs at the same time. So she didn't have any chance because she needed a liver, which she had to wait 6 months for, but she didn't have 6 months left with her. One of the other things what I would have said was really snowballed my drinking is that, do you know when people say to you, like, and I've said it to myself, to my children, if I ever get to that point where I can't wipe my own ass, finish me off.
Yeah, of course.
Right, and I had to do that for my mum in hospital.
Right.
And she knew that I did that because I could hear her saying, she went, oh. And it's what she never wanted. So I questioned with my dad what to do on that matter, to the point, do I help? And he had said, no, you could get in a lot of trouble for doing that. You can't do that. Yeah. So it was hard. I had to watch mum die for 4 days. Her body shut down, her internal organs shut down, she was pumping blood. So that was my skyrocket to be, I felt guilty because I'd not done what she wanted me to do and I had to watch her like that. So then my tablets just went, everything just went... Yeah,
everything went higher.
Yeah, with like failed relationships, and I can't blame anybody for it. It's my problem. It was me what did it all. But, it's a progressive illness at the end of the day, so I was close to near the end. Easy 100 tablets in a day.
Really?
Because you build a tolerance to them, so it was just becoming like the norm, just to like have them like, well, I can't feel anything, so I just take some more. It just got absolutely ridiculous, where things then did get quite bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that you've been to rehab.
I have.
What was that like?
I had to detox first when I come out of everything. It went, which obviously your mum helped with massively, and I was passed from pillar to post everywhere. And then I went into rehab. Rehab was very difficult. I did not expect it to be like it was at all. And
what do you kind of mean by that?
Well, I didn't think they'd be so mean, to be dead honest with you. When I say, honest to God, it was, so the first 2 weeks in there, I remember bits, but I wasn't really there because I was still coming off and I was still feeling shit. And I written up, you have to write a letter when you first get in there. My letter was not even in English. It's like, I had to read it back. And I was like, I can't even read this. What have I written? And it was like, because that's how bad I was. Yeah. But the insanity of it, I didn't think I was bad. I thought it was absolutely fine. I thought it was better than these people in rehab. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not like these. I don't take these kind of drugs. Realisation smacked me in the face, like, when that happened. And it's like, I'm no better. And that's my judgment changed addiction totally. Rehab, if anyone wants to get clean and mean it, I'd definitely recommend it. But it's not for the easy, it's not for the lightheartedness. You have to break you to build you back up, because they say that it's your addict that's running the show when you walk in there. So, I see it as you've got your me and then you've got your addict. So it's a little bit like... Yeah, like it's someone else. Like your devil. Yeah. So that wants me dead. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't want me being clean and being like this. That wants me in shit and in hell. Yeah, so that's what's there for the first time around. And so they don't really have much time for you. They don't really speak to you. They're quite rude and passive aggressive. And when I went on my visits, I went for a visit, and I was like looking around this circle, because everything's in a group setting. And when you're a person, I didn't like being around that many people. I like to be on my own. I like to be in my own space. Do you know? Do me. So when you're put in an environment where you eat with somebody, you eat with 10 people.
You eat with 10 people?
Yeah, you cook with these people, then you do groups with these people. It's not like one to one. I felt like I was in prison. Yeah, because you can't go to your room at night until a certain time, and you've got to be up at a certain time, and you've got your jobs. It's all very regimental, and then you do all your groups in a group setting because they want everything out, and if they can pull you on your behaviours, if you're sat on your own reading, they'll pull you on it, like what you're doing, what's going on for you. Yeah, I'm just reading. But normally it's not. It's because you're pulling back from something. You don't want to engage. So yeah, it was harsh, and I think your mum had met them as well, and she was like, "Oh my God," because they were calling me a bad mum.
They call you that as well. You wouldn't think they'd say stuff like that.
Oh, that was light, Harley. To what I was a bad mum, and I was shit mum, and I was like, "What?" And they was like, "Well, tell me why you're not." because, and you know what, brumming it down, at that time, I wasn't being a good mum. How was I being a good mum being the way I was, driving a car when I was absolutely off my head? I just don't even remember it. Going to people's houses, seeing them people, don't even remember it. You've just said something, I have no recollection of that. None. What you've just said. Stuff I heard about ambulances and trying to get sectioned and all that, none of that I don't remember.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Scary, crazy, yeah.
Was them being so tight help you? Like, do you reckon it did anything positive?
100%. 100%. They are mean to break you to bring the person out because they want to try and get to the root of why you used the way you did. And obviously it's just past trauma. And we use anything. So if it's sunny, we'll use. If it's raining, we'll use. You know,
yeah,
it's whatever
like,
it is. Yeah.
It's because of a reason. It's because it's sunny.
Yeah. It's always I've had a
trying
bad
to
day.
justify it in your own head. So you kind of said that you didn't really think it was a problem. So did you not really realise?
I didn't think it was a problem. No.
Was there a point where it was a realisation, or was that when you went to rehab that you realised?
I realised I had a problem with tablets.
Yeah.
When I started to lose my eyesight. Weirdly.
No way.
Yeah.
And what's that from? Was taking too many?
Taking too many tablets. I just had blurred vision. So I then stopped texting people because I couldn't see what I was writing and it wasn't making sense. And then I started to voice message people, but I started to slur. So my face had changed to something. So people was kind of cottoning on. And then I was trying to get up the stairs one time and I couldn't. And I thought, oh, this is not right, this. And that's when I picked up the phone to your mum.
Yeah, and then is that when it kind of clicked that I'm not okay?
That's when, yeah, I'm not okay, something's going wrong, I can't continue like this, because it was getting to the point where in the morning I was feeling physically sick and the thought of having to put tablets in my mouth made me heave, but I was compelled.
Yeah, you're already too far
I had
in.
to do it. I couldn't not do it. And that's not good. It weren't good. Then that's when I realised. But even then, I thought I was a different kind of addict to other people. I thought it was...
Yeah,
like,
you didn't think it was as bad.
No, I thought it was better than really, to be honest with you.
Are you around loads of other addicts? Like,
yeah.
So they're not all tablets, so are they
No,
all,
no,
are they
everything.
all like, like crack or whatever? They're all different.
Yes, everyone's different and everyone's got the same drugs who would link the same like that, but they've got different backgrounds of doing it. Some of the things I've heard, it's like, it's pretty crazy. So, yeah, I did just generally think I were better than them.
I bet most people do know that's going.
Yeah, cause what do you mean?
Yeah, like you see people.
I take tablets, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for that, and then because of that and the way I was, I just got drilled into constantly off it because they thought, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And in the end, I did click. When somebody said to me, they went, did you think I wanted to get to the point where I was digging heroin in my groin? And I was like, well,
wow.
That's up to you. Like, no, that's up to you. And she was like, no, it wasn't. I started at one thing. And she said, and this is where it took me. It's a progressive illness. You will end up in that point at some point.
Right.
Because, I was taking 100 tablets a day. So they weren't doing what they was meant to be doing. So it was only going to suffice for so long for now thinking, right, well, I need something else.
Yes.
And I need something else.
So that's kind of what she was saying, that's where it comes from. And
I remembered, and then whenever we got into that, I was like, oh, okay. And that changed everything on the outlook of everything for people, like Beggars Outside Asda and stuff like that. Yeah. That changed my opinion on everything like that, but I was quite ignorant to it for a long time.
But then when you kind of accepted it, did it make you feel worse in the moment at first?
I felt bad. Yeah, I did. I felt bad enough for spot. It gave me thinking, who do you think you actually are? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It humbled me quite quickly.
Do you reckon that was a good thing though?
Yeah. I do struggle with being like humbleness and everything. I've done a lot of work on myself, which is like I've not just done my 12-step program. I've obviously done a codependency program, which is about you.
Yeah.
Which is really looking at yourself, and your behaviours and how you portray yourself and what you do and. For example, say like somebody's kicked off with you, back in whenever, if someone kicked off with me, I'd be alright, I'd be going with it and I'd stand with him, and kick off with him. But now I don't. If anything like that happens, I tend to walk away. Do it. I get angry that I walked away after a bit and think I should have done this, I should have done that. Yeah. But I just think
It's like your own piece, sort of.
Yeah, and it's
protecting your own
hard.
piece.
Yeah.
But
And
then you kind of ego fights back, doesn't it? Yeah.
Ego driven massively.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think, oh my god, then people think I'm a soft ass. That's not what it is. But yeah, but you're actually stronger for walking away, and that's something I've had to learn.
Always.
Yeah, definitely.
So after rehab and everything, so how, like, what happens now? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you in a group or?
Yeah, so I was 4 years clean in March. I know, thanks. Which is crazy, which I didn't even think that would anything be like that ever again. I have a sponsor that I go to if I need help, and she does all my work with me. So I've done, like I said, I've done 12 steps.
Yeah.
I've done the AA one, but that's simply because I have quite a short attention span. So when I was doing the NA, which is Narcotics Anonymous, I was getting bored too quick, and then I lost interest in it.
Yeah.
So my sponsor realised that she can't stay on task for too long, this one. So they did the steps with me quite quickly on that one, but that was only dealing with the drugs. Codependency was dealing with me and what made me, and it all stems from just learned behaviour. All learned behaviour. I've had to learn to love my kids in a different way and everything.
Yeah.
It's because the way I was brought up is how I was doing the thing to them, and I don't want that for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't love my mum, and I did, and she loved me, but it was just never particularly shown in a way that's needed and wanted. So then it's rejection as well.
So how is life after, like now on a day to day?
Life's better on a day to day. I'm not going to sit there and say it's all sunshine and rainbows, because obviously we have crappy days. But I just have to wake up every morning and remember I've got an addict inside me that will do what it wants to do to get me out, and it wants me dead. So I walk alongside that day in, and as long as I admit to that and do what I need to do in that day, that's all I can say. I know your slogan's 5, just give it 7 minutes. Yeah. It's 24 hours in a day. And that's how I had to do it for now. And I'm so much better. The first 12 months was pretty hard. Like, I didn't really go out anywhere. I didn't socialise, because I've got friends in recovery, but I've also got a lot of other friends outside who, we do drink and have a laugh and everything like that. So that was kind of like put on the back burner for the first 12 months, because I couldn't trust myself to think that I wouldn't drink. And I still find it hard sometimes if I'm out with them.
Do you not drink now?
No.
Oh really? That's mint.
Do you not know that?
So no, I didn't know that actually. So do you drink non-alcoholic drinks, or do you?
I did for a little bit. I drank energy drinks, and I was just like, they cost a fucking fortune. So now I'm just gonna drink water.
That's probably the best thing.
Yeah. So luckily, it's free. So when we went to Dublin for your mum's hen, obviously I was the only not drinker. Every single one of them drank but me, and people was like, there's no way she didn't not drink or anything. And I used to get really offended by it, like, what do you mean? You don't know me. How dare you say anything like that? But now I just think, well, I don't really care. I know what I did to drink. If I drank, you wouldn't have seen me the next day. I would have been hanging my head over the toilet, either weeing because I can't control it, or being sick, and then well and truly gone. Do you know? So I did that, and that was kind of like, I needed to do that in a way to understand that I can be around drunk people and not drink. I just laughed at it. But yeah, no, I haven't drank or anything.
No, so you don't do nothing now, no. Can you take paracetamol when you're not well?
Yeah.
Is that an issue? Does it come across your mind? Or?
I don't take medication as if I don't have to now, which is so strange to come out of my mouth, because when I used to be like a little pill popper. But paracetamol and ibuprofen I can take, because it's nothing mood altering. So anything that gives you a feeling change, like cocodamol or Oromorph or diazepam, that's when my addict could fly right off the handle and get back in.
Is it like an excitement feeling? So you kind of get a change and then you feel excited, what kind of feeling that happens?
No, it's because all the stuff that I have is quite adult, so it like numbs you in a kind of way. It makes you sleepy, makes you more children, I weren't really one for uppers or anything like that. I was more downers. So when I was doing that, it was like, it just became the norm to take drugs and take tablets like you take sweets. That's all I could describe it as. I was taking them as sweets. So paracetamol don't give me a feeling change, so yes, I can take them if I wanted to. And also I do take ibuprofen if I wanted to. But I also am quite mindful of that, because it's still a tablet that you could still abuse really, really quickly.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
So if I went to the doctors, I could say to him, oh, I've got this pain or something like that, and they'd be like, all right, we'll prescribe you painkillers. If I trusted myself, which I probably could now, to be fair, probably, I would never say never, I'm not that cocksure, do it. But the first thing I do is I take that straight out of the equation. So if I go to the hospital or the doctors and I'll say, look, I'm in recovery, so don't bother asking me for painkillers. And they won't. I've put that hurdle down.
You want to be disciplined before it needs to be disciplined.
Yeah, before they try and, because if I go in on a weekday, I'd be like, oh, do you know what? Maybe. Yeah, go on, it's only for this, and then start rationalise it. Yeah. And then before I know it, I'm a box taking fucking pain meds and they've gone. So if I do that, I cut it straight away.
Yeah, you want to be disciplined before it needs to be, don't you?
Yeah, and I've got good people around me as well, people who understand. Like-minded people, we say we are. Like, not everyone understands you, do they?
No, of course not.
And that's the same with addiction, people with addiction, like everyone in that rehab centre that way, they've all been in through addiction, the counsellors, everything. Because you can't take advice from somebody who doesn't know what you've been going through and doesn't know your drug. It's a bit hypocritical, and you'd be like, actually, no, I don't think so. And that's the same thing with mental health, unless you've got somebody who knows it and been there and walked it with you and understands the struggle, there's no point, because they just won't get it.
No, they haven't got a clue, have they? They don't even know what they're saying or nothing.
No, they just think, oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah, just come off it, stop taking them.
Just do it.
That's how it works.
Yeah, just stop taking them. But weirdly enough, until it's took control again, and it's not. Yeah. That's the way I thought about my mum.
It just stopped.
Like, just stop drinking. Just stop drinking. What's up with you? Just stop drinking. Yeah,
because you see drinking as a pleasure.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, and I could see it deteriorating on her and everything, and she was yellow because of her liver and full of bruises and cuts, and, her breathing shallowed at night. So we ended up taking her to the hospital the day after. And even then, I would say I was quite ignorant. Like, why can't you just stop?
Yeah, it's not a big of a deal. Like, she'll just stop and she'll be okay.
That's but the damage had already been done, so there was no option for her.
Yeah.
The only thing, I still have to live with the days is, obviously it's the people that are around you who suffer as well. You don't realise that, how it takes its toll on the people around you. So, obviously, my children and obviously my ex, they had a lot of it, and they've told me stories that I've done, which are laughable now, but, I don't remember doing it. But, I thought it was... I thought it was normal, and I thought this idea would be great to put wallpaper up with a mop. Yeah.
And how did that go?
I'm guessing it did go well.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that. But it would have definitely happened. I know that because it would. Apparently I was opening the door. I'm saying, oh, my mum's coming in.
And obviously, mum had passed away at that point.
Yeah, so it was only a few years previous. So I think the kids was just like, what the hell? But that's how bad my psychosis had got. It was just, I was literally just gone. And what was so irrational, the story I've got told with the Hulk backpack. Did you ever hear of it?
I didn't, sorry.
The Hulk backpack. Oh my! So obviously I had ambulances at my house quite a lot. Again, didn't know, don't remember a single thing about that. And they tried to get me sectioned a few times, and they were saying it's a drug-induced psychosis. So we can't really do that. We agree she thinks she needs it, but I don't think they'll allow it. So apparently I got this massive Hulk bag, which is like my son's, and I put my charger in and my plug and got in the back of the ambulance and turned around and said, I'll be back in a bit.
And you generally thought you'd be back?
I did come back.
Oh, you went from where?
From my house to the hospital. Oh. They discharged me.
Oh, right. Is that because you was...
Because they were saying I was in a drug-induced psychosis, and it's... To be fair, again, I think people are quite ignorant to it, so I wasn't really I was just seen as a person who just takes loads of tablets and she needs to sort shit out.
Yeah, you just thought, it'll sort itself out kind of in a way and I'll just stop.
Yeah, the only time I got admitted was when obviously I was in the hospital, which was quite far away, and that was because I had high levels of it, obviously cocodamol in my system, so they put it down to an attempted suicide.
Yeah, but it weren't.
No, I don't think it was at that time. No, I think it just become my norm.
Yeah, you just was like, this is just normal.
Yeah, I was low. I did have low.
Yeah, of course.
Low times where I thought, I can't do this, but you're stuck. And yeah, So I don't remember. So it's funny when I hear them stories now, and I'm sure there's more that I've never been told. But at that time, it must have been quite frightening for the people around me. And they find it hard as well to deal with it. And then I have to deal with guilt and shame from all that with my kids as well, which plays on it. But I'm better today.
But you're doing a lot better now.
Loads better now.
Well, that's good. So
Loads.
thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
And yeah, thank you.